Hi everyone, welcome to the channel. I am so happy you could be here with me today. In this video, I want to talk about my top 10 tips for thrifting to save time and money. Now, full disclosure, I am a very new reseller. I have only been reselling for 6 months, but in that 6 months, I feel like I have learned a ton, and I want to share with you what works for me, which it might not work for you, but at least there's some ideas to give you a start on what I do to go thrifting to make it a little bit easier for me. Just a short introduction. My name is Christine, and I am a Canadian reseller selling part-time on Poshmark Canada and eBay. I created this channel just for us to come together as Canadian resellers to share our experiences and tips so that we can all become better Canadian resellers. If that is something that interests you, please hit the subscribe button and the like button, and let's get into today. I do have my notes down here, so forgive me for looking down. I did separate my points into 3 different categories. The categories are before you go. I want to talk about things that I do before I even leave the house. We're going to talk about things I do while I'm thrifting, and then we're going to finish it off with common mistakes to avoid. Let's get into this. Before you go, one of the most important things for me is before I go is to make sure that there are sales or coupons going on at the thrift stores I've decided to go to. As most of you probably know, it is very expensive to thrift in Canada right now without coupons or sales. Goodwill, Talees, Value Village, or Society Shop, any of those I never go into unless I have a coupon, or they're having like a big 50% off sale. Even sometimes with the 50% off, it's still, the cost of goods is still quite a bit high. Now, the way that I know when all these sales are coming out is that I have signed up for all of their email subscriptions. And so of course, when they're having a sale coming up, they'll send you out an email, but I also follow them on social. And if you do like to shop at Society Shop, I do find that they post most of their sales or anything like that on their social media. So definitely take a look at that. My next tip before you go is to dress for comfort. When I go thrifting or I'm going sourcing, I go for the entire day. I don't have time to do 1 hour there or 2 hours here. So when I go, I am at the store at 9 and I sometimes don't get home till 4 or 5. So I make sure I always have my super comfy sneakers on. I'm usually wearing leggings. Those are the most comfortable for me. And then layers on top. I find some of the thrift stores are either really hot or really cold. So I always dress in layers for that. I want to be comfortable, because if I'm not comfortable, then I'll just get miserable and frustrated and I'll want to quit early, because it can be a lot when you're sourcing for an entire day. Also, don't forget your water bottle. I always bring my water bottle with me. I seem to get super parched all the time when I'm sourcing. Another tip to give you before you go out thrifting is shop on the days that the thrift store restocks, or shop on the days that the new tag sale has come out. I have a local thrift store who changes the colored tag every week and offers 75% off. And that begins on Mondays. So the best time to go is on a Monday. And let's say they chose blue for that week. The blue tags will be 75% off. So if that is the case, you will be the first person there to get those blue tags at 75% off. And that just gives you a better chance to find more pieces or higher quality pieces or things like that. So that is, and then you will be good to go and make some really, really great sales. If you are able to figure out, just ask an employee, find out when the tags get switched over. All right, so the next topic I wanted to talk about is things that I like to do while I'm thrifting to save me time and money. The first thing I do, and that I've become more experienced with all the time, every time I go out thrifting and sourcing, is the feel of the clothes. When you start touching the clothes and you start recognizing, wow, this feels really soft, it must be cashmere, or this has to be linen, I can feel the difference. So the more you source and the more you go thrifting, the more experience you will have with the fabrics. And usually those fabrics that you can feel or that are luxe are going to be a higher end brand, or like a well quality made brand. And then that's kind of what you want to look for. And this saves you time by like filtering through all of the racks, all of the clothes, going through them. You will feel a piece going, oh, this has got to be cashmere. Let me check it out. Or, oh, this has got to be 100% wool. Let me check it out. All right, so the next thing I wanted to talk about was researching the tags or the labels that are on the clothes. I am not into fashion. I want to be into fashion, and obviously I'm getting better at it, but no one would ever call me that I was stylish or anything like that. I'm pretty like granola girl, you know, basic sweaters, t-shirts, jeans, leggings. But I have gotten a little bit better on finding tags that are new to me, but with a great sell-through rate or a great high resale value. How I research this and how I try to remember what the tags are is that while I'm watching YouTube videos of other people of what they've sold or what they found, or if they're talking about bolos, I will take a screenshot of the tag or the label that is on the clothing that they're talking about, and I put it in an album on my iPhone. And this way, I have all of these tags and all of these labels that I need to be looking out for on my phone. I can just scroll right through them. So what happens, and has happened in multiple times in the past, is that I will be going through the clothes and then I'll kind of feel something, kind of, you know, catches me. And then I'll look at the tag and I'll be like, I think I know that tag. I think I'm supposed to know this tag. This might be on my label list to look at. So I will put it in my cart and I will get out my album, my phone, and I will scroll through. And sure enough, there's the tag that so-and-so on YouTube was talking about, this brand, to be on the lookout for this label, or this is an up and coming brand that you need to pick up. It's great for reselling. So that is like one of, I think, my favorite thing that I have done for myself, because I have learned so much that way. And the last point I wanted to touch on that I do while thrifting, and probably one of the most important things to do while thrifting to save you money, is checking the comps on the items that you find. Now, you might already know the comps on some items because you've picked them up multiple times before. But if you want to know how well this item is selling before you pick it up, checking comps is really important. So let's say, for example, you found an LL Bean like women's zip-up cardigan, and you want to see what these are actually selling for. So what you would do is, in the search button onto eBay, you would type in LL Bean women's cardigan zip-up, and down below, as you scroll down on the right-hand side, you'll find the sold items. So click on the sold items, and then a big list will come up of how many of these have sold in the last 90 days and the price that they have sold for. That way you can tell if it's worth picking up this item for the price that you are going to buy it for, in order to the price that you're going to sell. So again, saves money. Make sure you don't bring home things that are going to just not sell, sit in your closet forever. Also, the sell-through rate is also very important. This is something that we could go through and do a whole other video on, but just quickly, the sell-through rate is, you look up the item on eBay, you see that there's 1,000 items available for sale, and then you clicked on the sold items, and then that gives you the number of items that have sold in the last 90 days. You divide those together, and that will give you a percentage of sell-through rate. Of course, the higher the sell-through rate, the better. It usually means that, you know, if it's 100 or 110% sell-through rate, you're probably going to sell that within a few weeks, if a few days. If that is something that you guys are interested in and you want me to get more into detail about comps and sell-through rates, please let me know. I would be more than happy to make a video for that. All right, going on to our last category. These are common mistakes to avoid. I have done every single one of them. I'm sure you guys have done them, and I'll probably continue to do many, many more mistakes, but that's how we learn. That's how we become better resellers. So the first point I wanted to make with this is look for all the flaws. This is something that I still struggle with because sometimes I can't see them. I don't know they're there, or I forget to check up for a button or forget to check a zipper. But the most important things are obviously looking for holes and stains, missing buttons, and then zippers. Zippers has caught me at least once or twice. Make sure all of the zippers work, whether it's a jean, jeans or jacket or pants, suits, whatever it is, check to make sure the zipper is functioning well. Zippers are not easy to fix, and it would probably not even be worth it for you to pick up if that zipper is not working. A lot of times too, if I have a hard time looking over the item, I will bring it to a window and look it over at the window. There's better light. You can see the shadows a lot better as well to make sure there are no flaws in that item that you're picking up. Another point that I wanted to talk about too is doing your research, knowing what styles are trending, know what classics are staying classics in staple wardrobes. Very, very important to do your research, your homework, to stay on top of everything. Knowledge is power, and the more you learn, the more it will pay off in the long run. You will be able to source faster, you'll be able to source smarter, you'll find higher end brands or luxury brands quicker when you know what you're looking for. There are hundreds of YouTube videos that you can watch. There are hundreds of articles that you can read about trending fashions or what's in style or what's going out of style. Stay on top of Fashion Week. Follow your favorite fashion person on Instagram, your favorite celebrities. Celebrities are always obviously in the know of trending styles, and they're always doing it. I find actually this is like the really fun part, especially if you do your research and then you find something out in the wild, you get really excited. So I feel like that is a common mistake that people will make, is not doing the research, not doing the homework in order to grow your reselling business. And then one more mistake to avoid, and I really never thought of this until I got into reselling: do not buy just because of the brand, but also do not buy because it doesn't have a brand. Works both ways. So just because you found a Lululemon legging does not mean you should pick it up. Or just because you found a Polo Ralph Lauren shirt does not mean you should pick it up. And it works the opposite way. Just because you found a shirt that you felt like was maybe in style, on trend, and on point, it had multiple factors. Just because it is not a name brand or a well-known brand doesn't mean you shouldn't buy it. With those style-based pieces and the correct keywords, you can sell pieces that are not name brand. But the opposite is true as well. Study the brands, study the name brands, study the Lululemon, the Lauren Ralph Lauren, the Talbots, all of that other stuff, but make sure you are picking those brands up for the right reasons. They are still trending, or they're still in style, or they are a classic piece. Classic meaning it's never going to go out of style. It's a staple wardrobe. Classic, clean cut looks are usually the ones to go for. So that's it. That was my 10 thrifting tips to help save you money and time. I hope you guys enjoyed this kind of content. This is new for me. And again, it's a little difficult for me to share tips when I'm still really new at this, but I do feel like I have gained a lot of knowledge, a lot from you guys as well. So thank you very much for that. I do appreciate it. Please let me know if I missed one of your favorite tips that you like to do while thrifting. And please also comment below if you guys actually use any of these as well. Thank you all so much for watching. I do appreciate all of your support in our little Canadian community of resellers. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And until next time, thanks for watching.